Welcome to the WIZLAND with Wiz. Happy to be with you guys today. Today's going to be an episode that I kind of don't tend to talk about just because I don't like talking about topics like this. But I definitely believe that it is very important just to see exactly what happens when someone has a strong opinion about certain beliefs. If you already saw the thumbnail, this is going to be about Andrew Tate. I found out about Andrew Tate about 2 to 3 months ago, and I have kind of listened to some of the podcasts that he's been a part of. I've listened to some of the interviews he's been a part of, and the way that I actually found out about him was through the Fresh and Fit podcast. To me, guys, the manosphere, whatever you want to call it, it is something that is not for everyone. If you're not able to kind of understand the information you're consuming, I wouldn't recommend it to you. If you're a young man, that is actually something that you're very kind of gullible. If you're easily influenced, and I know, and to be honest with you guys, you should know if you're easily influenced by things, and there's nothing wrong with that. I truly believe that our society as a whole has become all about the hype of things. If something has hype, you're gonna follow the hype. It is something that has kind of developed within the last year or the last decade per se, since social media has become a thing. To be honest, the reason I wanted to make this video is because Andrew Tate, while I don't agree with everything he says, if you really consume the content and you're able to understand what he's talking about, what he shares, what his content is about, besides his university, besides all the stuff that he sells and promotes, just the content for what it is, what he shares, what he relates, you can learn a lot from that. I'm not talking about the dynamic and the things that he believes with the men and woman gender and genre, like the dynamics between both sexes. I'm not talking about that, but I'm talking more so about a man becoming a man. To be honest with you guys, nowadays, when there's strong opinions about certain topics, this cancel culture has become pretty bullshit. Anyone gets canceled when they have an opinion or an opinion that is not agreed upon. As an American citizen, as someone that lives in an American society, I don't agree with that. If the person has a opinion, they are entitled to their opinion. Does that mean that because you have an opinion that your opinion matters? No, it doesn't mean that. It just means that your opinion is your opinion. But having said that, an opinion is just that, an opinion. It's not a factual thing. And when it comes to the manosphere platform and all of that, there's a lot of opinions based on feelings and on things like that. Me, for one, once I actually was introduced to the manosphere's content, and I'm talking about Steph is Cold, I'm talking about Fresh and Fit, I'm talking about Andrew Tate, Kevin Samuels. I was going through stuff with my own relationship. And for me, I am in love with my girl. Like I love my girl. I'm in a relationship and all of that. But there's a lot of things that you have to understand as a man that you need to work on yourself before you can even think about girls. Something that I really didn't even think about until I actually consumed this type of content. So the main thing that I want you to understand from this, and I want you to really understand, if you're someone that is into consuming the content, and consuming content like Andrew Tate's content, you should know how to learn shit. And what that means, you should learn how to learn shit, and you should learn how to think for yourself. Because all of these people, and I'm talking now in a general sense, coming from myself, coming from anyone, if you consume content of anyone, you should know that what we're talking is not gospel. It's not to be followed word for word. It might work for you. The content that they're sharing is based on their own experiences. It's based on their own life. is based on what they've seen work, but that doesn't mean that it's going to work out for you. If you want to be a ball player, if you want to do all these things, you want to have all these women, but you don't have a status, or you don't have the things that they share about, that's not you. It's going to take time for you to actually get to a certain point. And you have to understand, and I think that that's where the big misunderstanding comes when it comes to people like Andrew Tate. He actually made a video. I don't know when that video was released, but I actually watched it today, where he was talking about that was going to be his last message. And one of the things that I do agree with is that now, with everything being short format, meaning TikTok, meaning YouTube Shorts, meaning Instagram Reels, there's no context to those clips. You can say something with a whole context behind it, and it actually, you only get the maybe 10-second to 15-second content that, if without no context, it comes out to be outlandish, comes out to be crazy. It comes out to be a really kind of opposite and misogynistic and hateful message. And I think that that's the thing that we have been exposed to, and it's not creating our society. It's not making our society better, man. Like, you have to be a grown human. And I think that's the thing. Like, when we're creating things, you're not being aware of who's in the other side of whatever it is that they're consuming. The only reason I'm sharing this particular video with you guys, and not only because he's like Andrew Tate, like his name was trending for a long time, and I never created an Andrew Tate video about nothing, because I don't like talking about shit, you know. Like, I don't like jumping on someone else's wave. I don't do that. But I did see that video today that he shared, and I do believe that there's something very important about that, because the fact that he got canceled, the fact that he's getting canceled on all these different platforms and things of that nature, only makes it so obvious that sometimes certain, like, when someone is starting to speak up, and there's a lot of things that are right about that guy, you know, like, if you really make your research, you really kind of look into it and kind of see exactly what he's about, then you start seeing that the problem is bigger. And I only say that because I have also seen that not only with Andrew Tate, but I see that with guys like Andy Frisella. So if you never heard of who Andy Frisella is, look him up. The guy is married. He's a millionaire. He's killing it. He's all about positivity, all about getting better, all about winning your day and your life. Look that shit up. Look him up, and you're going to see what I'm talking about. There's no reason when someone has a strong opinion that opinion, just because it's not maybe the norm nowadays, just because that person has a strong positive opinion based on their beliefs and based on factual evidence, that those people are attacked on. Those people are put down just because our society is not ready for that again. It's not ready to go and kind of get back to that norm of strong men. And that doesn't mean that because a man is strong, women are weak. It just means a man needs to be strong, so he can take care of his wife, take care of his sister, his mom, whatever the case is. So that's something that you guys, if you're listening to this today, right now, and you're a guy and you're a man, that should be your first priority. You becoming the best version of yourself so you can take care of the people around you. And if you're someone that is trying to build a family, you have to be able to get to the best version of yourself, so the woman that you welcome to your life can respect you, be loyal to you, and you guys have a good relationship, you know? So that's the thing that a lot of people don't even think about. You're thinking, like, and I've seen some of the clips are just him trolling. If you're able to conceptualize stuff, and you're able to actually understand what people say and what people are actually sharing, and trust me, it took me a while for me to get to that point where I'm able to actually understand what another person is saying, because sometimes we get caught up based on what the 10-second clip says, and then we don't actually make our research and try to actually go look at their original content. And that's fine, that's totally fine. But if you're gonna hate on someone, before you start hating on them, do your research. And that's the main thing that I wanted to share with you today, guys, because I don't care when someone actually is making money out of whatever it is that they're sharing, but I always do my research. And I never once in my life have put a negative comment on anyone's video. If I don't agree with something, I just keep scrolling. If I don't agree with anyone, I just ignore it. But up to this point, it's like I do feel that there's a need for someone and for a group of people to come out and say shit, and that's just to make men better. And that, again, it doesn't mean that you, just because you're becoming a better man, that women are the worst person or you hate. No, it's not that. It's just that the fact is that women sometimes do take advantage of these men because they have not been developed as men. And that's just the reality of our life. So you have to focus as a man on yourself so you can actually welcome fruitful and strong women to your life. Women that are going to support your life, support your vision, whatever that might be, and just make you a better human being. But in order for you to be that person, you have to work a lot on yourself, and that's something I had to realize. I'm realizing that as I'm continuing to grow and as a man, that I do want to be the best man that I can be, so I can take care of my mom, so I can take care of my sister, so I can take care of my girl. And that's just purpose. That's a purpose of my life. That's part of my life that I have to be able to become a better man. So yeah, guys, I don't agree with Andrew Tate getting canceled. And I definitely respect anyone out there that is kind of sharing their own mindset in a positive manner. And that's the thing. This guy, this man, if you really look at his content, yeah, he says some crazy shit, and I don't agree with everything. Like I said, when you listen to stuff, don't think people are saying the gospel and whatever they're saying is 100% what it is, because sometimes it's not. It's just the fact that they have taken initiative to kind of share what their beliefs are, and you have to understand and see if that fits your life. If it doesn't, then ignore it and just get what you can get that actually applies to you. And I think that that's the main thing that you have to understand. And I'm talking about people like Andrew Tate, people like Andrew Frisella, people like Gary Vaynerchuk, people that are like Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is is the biggest podcast in the entire internet. But trust me, if you're 19, if you're 25, and you don't have your shit together, you cannot just smoke and do whatever the fuck you want because you're not Joe Rogan. You have to get your shit together. And that's the same thing I follow for myself, and it took me time to realize that. So if you watch today's podcast, guys, appreciate it. A lot of content is going to come out in the near future. So I'll see you on the next one. Take care and just be true to yourself. See you on the next one.